Hello, this is Dr. David Billstrom from the International Autoimmune Institute, and today we're going to talk about poop tests, digestive stool analyses. Now, what you may not know, they talk about the gut as the second brain. I actually think it's going to turn out to be the first brain, because there are thousands and thousands of times more connections from the gut to the brain than even the brain to the gut. And what you also may not know is that it's the good bugs, bad bugs in the gut that actually, when you're in the womb and then as an infant, that actually, along with the immune system, 80% that surrounds the gut, actually are the drivers and the architects of your brain. Now, there are so many good bugs in the gut that we need. What you may not know is in the Human Genome Project, they said we're going to sequence all the DNA, all the genes in humans, and we're going to figure out every disease known to man. We can just fix the bad gene. Well, what they found is that, well, it's actually not the genes you have, it's which ones are turned on and turned off, epigenetics. So they go, oh, we just sequenced all the DNA in humans, but humans only have 1% of their DNA. 1% of their DNA is only human. 99% of the DNA we carry around day in, day out is actually our microbiome. There are 10 times more non-human cells in the body than human cells, and 100 times more non-human genes, DNA, than human genes. So if we can keep our good guys, a lot of them in the gut, good, they actually do all the work, not so much the human cells. So now they're doing the microbiome genome project where they're actually trying to sequence all the DNA, all the genetic material, and all the bugs that we carry with us that do so much work. Because then if you can get them doing well, they're going to do the work for you because they do most of the work anyway. So digestive stool analysis is such an important test. The gut is such a central mechanism with the information I just shared with you, for example, that to get your gut good and figure out what's not good in the gut is so important. Now, if you have a ton of different gut symptoms, you have diarrhea, constipation, you're bloated, you're gassy, you have reflux, you have hemorrhoids, you know the gut's a mess. But the gut is such a central mechanism, you may have no gut symptoms, but it's showing up as everything else. So like, for example, celiac disease, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the small intestine. And with that disease, wheat, gluten, one of the proteins in wheat, 62 different proteins in wheat that bug people, it's like battery acid bad. And you imagine if you're consuming battery acid every day, your gut's not going to be happy. But that's not the way things work. Thus, 80% of people with celiac disease are never diagnosed because they have no gut symptoms. They just have everything else in the body totally whacked. They don't feel good in so many different ways. Oh, my gut's great though, so that's not the problem. It is. It's just not showing up as gut symptoms. 20% of people with celiac have totally whacked guts because they're consuming battery acid, but everything else is whacked too. But only people that have whacked guts do they ever think, hey, let's check them for celiac disease. If you have no gut symptoms and you're feeling really crummy, hey, you probably got celiac disease. Your gut's great, symptom-wise, but not great because it's whacking everything else. So to know what's going on in the gut is so important. So digestive stool analyses look at all the details of the gut, and the changes that happen there that mess you up happen long before you ever get things like colon cancer and your diverticulosis and diverticulitis and polyps, all that kind of stuff. It all starts way early. So what you want to do is be able to test these things, and these are the kind of things they really can't test in hospitals. They have to be done in a kit and mailed off. Now, there's two companies I like. One is Doctor's Data, one is Genova. They all look for the good bacteria, the bad bacteria. Do you have a bacterial infection? Do you have a fungal infection? Are you making enzymes to digest your food? If not, your pancreas is pooping out, not making it, and you may have fat malabsorption and protein malabsorption and carbohydrate malabsorption. And they can look for these inflammation markers, things like calprotectin and lactoferrin and SIG-A and all these great ones, EPX, that tell you do you have a lot of inflammation. Now, these inflammation markers are very important because if they're high, it means you're moving towards things like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, and colon cancer. Rather than being kind of this irritable bowel syndrome, you're moving to inflammatory bowel syndrome, which is autoimmune disease attacking the gut, and then colon cancer. And so you want to look at all these things and you go, oh, now I know I'm not feeling good. And you can pinpoint exactly what's going on, and then you fix what's going on. Then you retest in 3 months, see if you fixed it. If you didn't fix everything, well, let's keep going. But if you get the gut going good, you're going to start feeling so much better every place. It's really, truly remarkable. Now, one of the challenges is you have to find a doctor to actually order the test, sign for it with Doctor's Data in Genova. And they really want docs to be able to oversee fixing you as best you can. Now, if you know what test you need to run, though, you can go to a physician, ideally a physician that might be functional medicine, and even if they're not super familiar with these tests, you say, hey, you know, these are the tests. They go, oh, I know about those tests. I've trained and heard some of those tests. I can actually order. Super easy for them to go and just sign up for these two companies. They send them boxes. They give them to patients. Patients do them. The doctors just have to sign something. And then ideally, with all the information I'm going to be sharing through my videos and my blogs, I'm going to walk you through step by step what to do anyway. And so you can actually use all the information you're going to get from us and then help the doctor learn if they need some learning. Or if you find one that actually really knows this stuff, fantastic. You go and you know the test to run. You get these tests run, it is going to be so much easier to feel good. And then you get this bang for your effort. I'm already eating well, I'm already exercising, I'm trying to manage stress, still don't feel my best. You figure out the gut, oh my gosh, you're getting such a big bang for your effort. You go, oh, this is so great. And now you get all the bang for your lifestyle changes. Thank you so much.